Chronicles of a Bus Driver. So the first week went by pretty smooth. No really major hiccups, Just the first day, the student didn't get on the bus in the on the, for the PM route, but that wasn't my fault. I guess she just didn't want to ride the bus. But anyway, I get to the stop. The mother looking at me, I'm looking at her. I'm like, what? And mother like, WTF? So I just closed the door and drove off because I try to avoid confrontations. And if you're scared, say you're scared. So I was scared, so I drove off. But and I think a few days later, one morning, a parent claimed I left her daughters at the stop. Now the way the stop is designed, its design is that a student that lives across the street, so that student walks over to those girls' houses so they all can get on the driver's side. So the student was standing there proud, bright and tall, which she's supposed to because the bus don't wait on students. Students wait on the bus. So I picked the student up and then I drove off. Now the mother claimed the daughters were sitting on the porch. Okay, so what? I drove off, but I had to go to the end of the cul-de-sac, turn around and come back. Why weren't they standing at the bus stop as I came back through? See, so I don't think they were there. But anyway, no big deal. But cause I wouldn't leave a student willingly or intentionally because I'm a professional driver. Well, actually, I did. I have left some students before. Like, if I know there's some little bad angels who disrupt the bus, yeah, I'll leave them in a heartbeat. I have left them. Like in Raleigh, there was this one kid. As all the kids got on the bus, I saw that he wasn't on the bus or at the bus stop. So I was like, hey kids, hurry up, sit down. And I put the bus again, drove up, and they're like, hey, Mr. Thomas, the kid name is Forrest. Forrest is coming. You leaving, Forrest? You know, and someone let down the window and said, run, Forrest, run. Now, Forrest thought he was slick because he knew at the end of the block there was a traffic light, and 9 times out of 10, I would get stopped by that light, which I did. So Forrest figured he gonna run the bus down. But I had one up my sleeve. So what I did when I got to the light, I made a right turn on red. Now don't tell nobody because I wasn't supposed to do that. I might get in trouble. This is just gonna be our secret, okay? But yeah, I went ahead and made a right turn. And I said, man, hell with Forrest. Let him run to school. A sad thing about it is I wasn't even supposed to make a right turn because I was supposed to go straight, but I couldn't go straight through the intersection. I didn't have the light. But it's just one of those days. I didn't really do that, but I thought about it. I wanted to. But anyway, like I said, man, I had a pretty smooth week, so this might be just an easy school year, easy peasy. No behavioral problems, no referrals, nothing. I might start missing Wake County, but just another day in the life of a bus driver.